So in this video, I want to talk about a complicated topic related to base currency. So when you start using multi-currency on your Katana account, and in the very, very rare scenario where maybe your business has changed its physical location to somewhere else, or maybe your country even changed its currency, um, you might have to change the currency on your Katana account, for example. And so to do this, it's quite nuanced, and you have to go through a lot of steps to change this locked base currency from what it currently is. And so I'll talk about the ways in which you can do that more quickly, so you're aware of what to look for when you need to make that change. If, for example, you decide to change the base currency on your Katana account. So, couple of things to talk about. Once you activate multi-currency, there's a multitude of ways to activate it. First off, you can create a sales order in a different currency than your base currency, or you can create a purchase order in a different currency than your base currency, or also create an outsourced purchase order in a different currency. The next thing you can do is add a default currency to at least one customer, or add a default currency to at least one supplier. And then the last couple of things you could do is connect an e-commerce solution or connect an accounting solution. If you do any single one of those and it still exists on your Katana account, then you will never be able to change your base currency until you rectify those situations. So let's talk about the first one. If you decided to use multi-currency on any sales order, you could have one, or you could have dozens, or you could have hundreds or thousands. What happens on your Katana account is if you have any sales order that's multi-currency, you need to find it and change it to the base currency that you want to move to. So every single sales order on your Katana account must be in the same currency in order for you to change your base currency. Secondly, every purchase order on your Katana account, including outsourced purchase orders, must all be in the base currency before you change to the next base currency. So these two are absolutely important and critical first steps to making that change. Taking it a step further, you might have trouble finding where all of these are at. So what I would recommend doing is, if you're looking for sales orders that are in multiple currencies, is to choose the checkbox, scroll down, hold down the shift button, choose that checkbox, and then simply export a list of those sales orders, identify what numbers are using a different currency than the base one that you have at the moment, and then find them and then change them to the base currency. If you do so, then you'll be able to solve that problem from the sales order perspective. I would recommend doing the exact same for your purchase orders, identifying all of the ones that are in a different currency than the base currency, finding them out, and then changing them. I would also then recommend doing that for your outsourced purchase orders in the exact same way. If you have any, change them as well. Once you've completed that, then you need to make sure that under your contacts lists that any customers you have are not in a different currency. So for example, if the base currency on your account is presently euros, but you need to change it to US dollars, you need to change every single customer to euros. And then you can adjust it as well. So make sure that's solved. I would filter through the different lists here, identify anything that is different from your base currency, and change it back. Like all of these would need to be changed to euros before I change my euro base currency to something else. On the supplier list, you can do the exact same. If it doesn't matter to you, you can also delete the customers and suppliers that all have a different currency if you feel that's faster. So that's a couple of things I would recommend as a starting point. So sales orders, purchase orders, outsourced purchase orders, customers with different default currencies, and suppliers with different default currencies. Once you've adjusted all of those to your current base currency, then you should be able to change. If you still can't change at that point, then it means that you most likely have an existing integration that's presently connected, and then you need to disconnect that integration in order to free up that opportunity to use a different currency. Yeah, and once you have made all of these changes, then this settings section here, where base currency used in all your operations will be available to be changed. And you should be good to go.